most parents, let's be honest, most parents, even if they want to put their children in Islamic schools, they can't afford to. A lot of times they can't. It's a tough economy. It's not easy to afford, So most of our kids go to public school. That's a reality. It's not something you should embarrass people about. It's just a reality of Muslims living in this country. They go to public school. So parents feel guilty that they're not themselves able to give a quality religious education. They're certainly not getting one at school. Might as well put my child in Sunday school, right? That'll help. It won't. It doesn't. Ask your child if it helped. Right? I asked the controversial question, if you want to gauge, and I love Sunday schools, by the way. I used to run one, and I think they're a blessing, and they're an important effort in the effort to educate our children. Nonetheless, ask the average child that is sitting in Sunday school, any given Sunday. You just pull up, take one random kid from, especially a teenager, 12, 13, older. Pull them aside. Do you want to be here? Just ask them that one question. Do you want to be here? What is the overwhelming answer you will find? They've already served 5 days in prison at school. The prison for a child is behind a desk. And what do parents do? You need to serve some extra time. Here's a 6th day in prison. By definition, kids hate class. It's, when the bell rings for recess, you should look at, I used to be a teacher at a school, and one of the ways I would punish students if they were misbehaving is the bell for recess would ring, and I say, you can't leave yet. You have to finish 10 more problems. And you see all these kids sitting there. And as the bell rings, the temperature in their seats rises. And it hurts to stay inside your seat. And then they look outside the window and they see others entering the gates of paradise. And they're like, oh, yeah. Can we go, please, please, please? Just anything but here. Anything but here. They hate being in a class. And what do? We stick them in another class. And when we stick them in another class, at least it should be fun, right? No. Not going to be fun either. Somebody's going to come and they're going to, my second story now. My second story. This has actually happened in a Sunday school I used to be a part of. The class next to me was a bunch of teenage boys, or preteens, like 11 to 13, younger guys. Teacher walks in and says, today, children, I'm going to tell you the best story of all time. The best. Do you know what it is? This kid raised his hand. Yes, you can tell me what it is. Dragonball. This kid next to him goes, no, Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu Hakusei, something. This other kid goes, no, Naruto. And this other kid, and they start arguing with each other. No, that's the best story. No, that video game had the best storyline. And the sequel was even better because it went backwards in time. And the other one goes, no, did you see that movie? Oh my God, it was awesome. Have you seen the 3rd season of this or that or the other? Oh my goodness, this argument breaks out in class. And the teacher standing there in shock, his jaw is dropped. He doesn't know what to do. Like, no. This is all wrong. I meant the story of Yusuf in the Quran. Because Allah Azza wa Jal says, نَحْنُ نَقُصُّ عَلَيْكَ أَحْسَنَ الْقَصَصِ كَمَا قَالَهُ سُبْحَانَهُ وَتَعَالَى. He said himself, we're narrating on to you, in fact, the best of all possible stories. This is a claim made by Allah. And so he was expecting the child who raised his hand to say, yes, I know the best of all stories. It's the story of Yusuf alayhi salam. Nobody said that. It wasn't even a contender. It wasn't even a contender. So he says, no, children, you're all wrong. The best story is the story of Yusuf. And the kids go, oh, I already know that one. Okay, yeah, sure, it's the best. Do you think they really believe it's the best? That's a crisis of faith right there. Allah said something. And our children sitting in a Sunday school, in a masjid, in the house of Allah, no matter how badly you want them to believe that, they don't. They're just saying it because you want to hear it. They're just saying it because you want it. That's a crisis of faith. That's a huge crisis. We have to understand how to address that crisis.